Okay, welcome back. Started realizing we're back on this 372 cheap Warhawk cylinder set, right? That I was going to do. Taking a regular piston and then doing up with the dimples or the golf balls. So anyways, as you can kind of see, I did the surface a little bit, and I'm going to show you how I just used a flat file here that are straight. Some flat files are not straight. You look down there, you kind of see that it's straight, and you kind of lay it across here. And the reason I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to show you how easy it is to cut, just so you guys might have an understanding of using a cutoff wheel and to cut my skirts on 372s that usually have this. And then as you can kind of see right in there how ugly this bottom skirt is, it's just nasty anyways. So right, and so I found this does help on saws. So as we're going for that kind of a look, right? And so I'll show you what I did on the flat base here and what I found. But let's go ahead and start with showing you how it cuts. Now, it's not the fastest cutting because this carbide bit, or this carbide blade, I should say, is designed to cut faster in steel or stainless steel than it is aluminum. So it is a little slower, but I kind of like it because I don't get chipping off of this edge, even on cylinders like Meteor and highway cylinders, which are known to have hard plating, right, and that chip real easily. So for those, I'm just going to do stock rebuilds for the most part on those things. If somebody wants to use that, porting those are a pain in the butt, and I'm not going to get into it. But these seem to be holding pretty well, and so let's go ahead and get that. You see my line that I did in here. Let me show you again how I just got that. Put that flat edge across there. Take my mark across there. So that's how I got my deal. Okay, here we go. And really, I made my mark here and knowing where to stop on the top up here. And this is all related to, these lines are related to the piston, right? And so these are basically the lines of where, get you in focus, where the sides are here. So I'm not going to open it up past there into this area and into this area. So that's why I draw the lines like I do, so that I can actually come down straight on it. From there, I can kind of see my mark up top here, and I can see where I'm down at the bottom. So. Okay, so from here, I find it really easy to kind of get that sight. Like down here, it looks pretty even across there. It's kind of like eyeball that mostly is what it is for the work. And as you can kind of see, I actually like using this Dremel more than say a flex shaft, because if you're cutting on a flex shaft and that gets bound up and stops, that nods your flex shaft all up if you're on like a knockoff Fordham or a flex shaft on a Dremel. So that's why I kind of hold one of these. I find it's better control if I'm using the cutoff wheel on that side of things. And so as you can kind of see in here, you can kind of see how it's a little taller right up in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim that up a little bit. All right, there you go. There you have it. As you can kind of see how it went fairly smooth, and it's a little bit finer dust, right? So you may want to wear a dust mask if you don't like the finer stuff, and instead of the chips of taking say a bit like this and trying to grind it all out, then it takes a while. And then with these, sometimes you do have a tendency to chip it depending on the rotation. Of course, he's only cut one way, right? And so the rotation and your angles, you do have a tendency to chip plating. As you can kind of see in there, how that it come out really actually clean, and there was no chipping. Now it could be just because I'm working the cheap cylinder, right? But versus like a highway or meteor, but I've actually found that on the highway meteors as well, that you can do this. Now, in here, right on here, there's a lip. There's a little lip that I can catch my fingernail on. So this is something to look at for cheap stuff, right? And this goes around, and I can feel this. So, you kind of question yourself if you're doing base gasket delete, does this actually work? And since I don't have a lathe to really like get a flat edge, that's where I come up with my files. A good flat file, and I put it across there, and I just lightly go ahead and run it across. And what I'm doing is, I can kind of see in this example, there's still the gray factory in there. I didn't remove like everything. I'm just taking the edge down, right? And I'm watching how that's cutting. As you can kind of see, you can see the shininess on the outside here cutting first, before anything else starts getting off in here. So when you kind of do this, you'll be able to see how quickly it goes, just keeping it flat. And then you're not taking off enough material. Like right there, I'm not really going to go too much deeper because I'm just breaking the discoloration right in there. I'm not going to dig down, but you can see the edge here has been wore down, so that's kind of nice. Now this one's a little finer cut, as you can kind of see. The teeth are a little closer than this one. So I just kind of like take a final like off of this with this one here. Just kind of like zip it. There you go. And so you can do this with the surfaces like this too. You can do your intake surface just to make sure that there's no weird ridge. You run your finger around weird ridge that will catch your intake boot and do that. And then you can take any hard edges down if you want. Sometimes, in my demented thinking, is that if I take the hard edges down in these weird little casting imperfections, then maybe it's not going to collect, stick there and collect dirt. You know what I mean? How these things build up after time with oil and dirt and sawdust and all that stuff. So you can kind of do that on the edge. Is that a performance thing? No, but if it keeps it a little cleaner, then that's how I feel. It justifies this in my mind, right? So you don't have to do this whatsoever. This is like probably anal retentive shit here, you know, as you're talking about it. So those are kind of the little tricks that I'm doing is off the edge here, and then you can get up in here if you want in there. You could do this with a Dremel, a small bit in Dremel, and take this, take the casting imperfections off, or any hard edges around this surfaces here. You could do that as well, you know, make it a little smoother. Yeah, I don't know if I don't have any scientific evidence that this is actually helping with the dirt collection or not. It's just something I started thinking about, and so I end up starting to kind of just run across some highlights, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's looking good. Make sure kind of hit the exhaust. You can kind of see some high areas where it's at. Just kind of rubbing it. Try not to angle it up and down. Trying to keep it flat across. Sometimes angling it this way is also can be good. So, anyways, there you are. Since I didn't get out much this weekend and do much out here in the shop on the 372s that I wanted to do, so I'm just trying to make this one before I put this cylinder on with the dimple piston. I want to make sure that I have my lower transfers. I'm going to set the port timing the same as this one with this one. And so everything's the same as much as I can possibly do. And the one difference will be the piston. Leaving this one in a stock area and then using the dimples on the other one to actually see that. But hopefully this, you may enjoyed watching this. I know it's actually a little longer than I intended at over 17 minutes, 18 minutes. But I appreciate you in there. Fast forward if you want, you know. It doesn't hurt my feelings, but hopefully if you see, that's what I kind of go through on some of the prep work with some of the cheaper cylinders that have casting flaws and imperfections, and then also maybe how you guys actually understand using the Dremel or a Dremel knockoff in this configuration with the cutoff wheel is actually better than probably the flex shaft that is going on, and how easy it is to cut that. So anyways, hey, I appreciate it. Again, welcome to the turd bench. It hasn't gotten any better. And the turd saws haven't gotten any prettier. So anyways, thank you for your time watching, and have a great week coming up. So anyways, we'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.